guys, it's Luke here and welcome back to another video. You join me here down today at Swift Performance. I'm actually mainly down here today. I actually have my M140i service. That is all done, so a big thank you to those guys for sorting everything out and for looking after the car. However, upon visiting Swift, it would be rude not to check out Josh's M2 competition. I've known Josh for a long time. He's a good friend of mine. He's actually been on the channel before with his previous car, the wide body satin or matte grey M235i. Some of you long-term subscribers may remember that car. This is his new car, his new project, an M2 competition. It's currently like a club sport build, and a lot of work has been done to this car, mainly cosmetically, you can tell, but it's one hell of a thing. So let's get him on camera, introduce him, and go from there. Okay, so we're now joined with Josh. Mate, good to catch up.
Yeah,
It's been a little while. Obviously, you last went on the channel. Actually, it may have been with some more tidy bits, but obviously the last feature was with the 235i.
Yeah, that's
which
right.
is now onto a new owner, but you're sad to see that go.
Bit of a different wagon.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Same brand, obviously Beamer, has to be. And the 235i, for those that do remember, was quite a big, heavy project, more stance.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, introducing the what should be finished M2 competition. Carbon track show build.
Yeah,
that's what we call it.
I mean, cosmetics has been the priority for this.
Yeah.
And it looks incredible.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think it goes without saying the thing to start with is probably the wrap.
Yes.
That's what's totally changed the car, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's what a lot of people have said, where it was white before, and we had, which we'll go into in a minute, carbon fenders, the bonnet, the bumper swap. It looked a bit slapstick after sort of 6 to 9 months of white and carbon. So the Inositech Midnight Green wrap, which is what this is, done by Identity Wraps down in Kent, it honestly has come out a lot better than I think, to be honest.
It looks incredible in the sun.
And you can actually machine polish this wrap material.
Yeah.
I'm not too educated on how many other wraps you can do that to in terms of materials, if any. But I know with the Inositech, the big selling point as well was that you could machine polish it.
I mean, the finish for a wrap is incredible as well.
Yeah, it's got a lot less orange peel in it. Obviously, I'm not a detailer, so I probably added my set of swirls to it already. Hold my hands up and sorry to any detailers out there, but I'm learning.
Yeah.
But yeah, the wrap itself, super happy with it. But I think the thing with this project is that I think all the mods have come together really well. The front bumper swap, in my opinion, is just insane.
Yeah.
It's probably quite hard for some people to see the bigger differences, but at the bottom of the bumper, especially in the lower areas, that's where you can see the biggest difference between a stock M2 comp bumper and this 3D design front bumper. It's almost got what I call a bit of a cheek raise on the corners. It's almost lifted up to give it a bit more aggression. And the splitter and the fangs themselves are actually a one-piece design.
Okay.
So for M2s, usually they have a carbon covering that sit over the lower fangs, but this is actually a fully integrated splitter and fang one piece of carbon that actually slots and bolts into the bumper itself.
It changes the look of the car massively.
Yeah. I think the whole front end, it just gives it that kind of pinned in sort of aggressive look.
Yeah, absolutely.
Combining that with a bonnet, obviously in the CS style, in my opinion, the CS style kind of goes with the 2 Series shape the best. The GTS bonnets are super aggressive, but they're quite big. The dome is quite large, and the body of the 2 Series isn't as big as the M3, M4.
Yeah.
And obviously the part wrapped, part exposed carbon bonnet is, again, something that's quite special. Most people either leave them fully exposed, which again I did do for the first part of the build, or most people paint them. But I think this part carbon, part wrap theme around the car, which still goes on at the back of the car as well, just looks mega. And again, really happy with how it's finished. The wrap along the line of the actual bonnet where they've gone from carbon to the wrap is spot on. Seamless.
Awesome.
So yeah, really happy with that. There's obviously lots of other smaller carbon bits like the side skirts, the fenders, the mirror caps, obviously all from Auto ID and the stuff we do there and what we supply. But the wheels, to be honest, I've been getting quite a lot of feedback, positive feedback on these 2 forged wheels. Flow formed, so not fully forged, but still really light. I think these Brogan from 2 Forged might correct me, but I think they're around the 8.5 per corner.
Okay, yeah, that's
which is pretty light.
Yeah,
18-inch, obviously, for track.
Yep, some AR1s on there.
Wrapped in AR1s, which, down at Goodwood yesterday. Quite hot, if anyone's watching this further down the line. Obviously, these are the 2 really hot days. So about 30, 32, 33 at Goodwood. but AR1s were solid.
Yeah.
And definitely upset some GT4 owners.
Oh, really?
Whilst we're down there.
Love
yeah.
that.
So that was good crack. A really cool feature. I don't know who will remember this from the 235i.
Yeah, I remember this.
But
yeah.
along the side skirts on the previous build, we had all the sort of key major brands and whoever else involved, and it was embossed on the other wrap, so underneath the wrap, whereas on this one, because the Nosetech's quite a thick wrap, because of the machine polish element, I think, we've decided to do a satin/matte PPF logos over the side skirt. I think it looks quite good.
Yeah,
nice and subtle, not in your face, but nice, you know, a little thanks again to everyone that's been involved with the build.
Absolutely.
Not a carbon roof yet.
I'm surprised.
Thinking about it, it's a lot of money. Russ at Swift is trying to tempt me. He's done it on his M2 pucker, but quite a big mod. So we've not done that carbon juicy bit yet. We've got a nice AC Schnitzer roof spoiler along the top. But I think moving round to the rear, the wicked combo is the CSL carbon boot lid and the Aerodynamics GT Flex wing, I think they call it.
I'm obsessed with the rear end, not gonna lie. Yeah,
the rear end is mega. I mean, the nice Auto Technic diffuser at the bottom with the Remus exhaust is a really cool setup down there. But I think the whole rear as a package is just tidy. I think it's really tidy. We've left a nice pinstripe of carbon of the CSL boot lid along the edge, because we actually painted it underneath, so of course we couldn't really leave that. We had to wrap over it. But yeah, the wing, height adjustable, pivot adjustable.
Yeah, so you got adjustment.
And adjustment, as you said, on the actual blades on the side as well. So for those that are really stepping up their builds in the aero department, which I'm not at yet, but it's good to have this piece of kit on the car. It definitely gives you all of that adjustability that you'd want as part of a kind of track build.
It is, of course, a full carbon boot lid as well, isn't it?
So obviously the sexy bit, which is nothing in the boot this time.
That up there
is all the carbon underneath.
That's incredible.
Which is nice to look at. Some nice cups as well that have been fitted in there by Pinnacle Motorsport. Some tweaks by Russ, obviously here at Swift, because he's done a lot of spoiler fittings as well. So yeah, thanks to Pinnacle on that. And obviously Russ for tweaking it and setting it up right. Obviously the main thing, I guess, with a carbon boot and a wing is making sure it's all fixed, solid and mounted solidly. So the last thing you want is that flying off at high speed. And I did actually lose my AC Schnitzer badge yesterday. So that's already gone. The wing's still there, so I'll take that.
Cool, all right, let's hop in, get the air conditioning blowing and go for a quick drive.
Mega, let's do it.
God, it sounds good. We spoke about the exhaust, did we?
No, we didn't actually. The Remus is nice. Came with the car. Okay. So quite lucky in that respect. Added the mid pipe onto it, and I thought having the axle back come with the car, carbon tips as well, so quite a nice little combo there. But it wasn't quite loud enough for me, and then I was told that the mid pipe would really add a lot of noise. I thought, well, how can a 500, 600 quid pipe add that much? But went with it, and the mid pipe doubled the sound. And now I think it's at that sweet spot that obviously still allows me to track.
Yeah, because that's one thing. You're very active on track.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people don't realise. They're like, oh, why don't you go for the AA equal length or all this other stuff that you can, chop in or decat and stage to it, whatever. Pulled a bit then, didn't it? Yeah. But yeah, the track is important to me, so I have to keep it obviously under the limits.
Absolutely, yeah. And that is why it's obviously on AR1s. We've obviously got Recaro pole positions.
That's right, and the Recaros are actually the ABE variant, so they're actually a bit wider. I think just a bit, give that extra broadness, a bit more extra width, just for those of us that are a little bit wider, I suppose. I very much felt like I was sitting on the pole position SPGs, as I told you. And then a good friend of mine, Stan, with the satin black M2 build that we've done at Swift, of course. He went for the ABEs, and I sat in those, and they were perfect. So that's the reason I went for those.
I think the last time I've personally seen this car, obviously off camera, a lot's changed actually in the interior, obviously, as well as the outside. So you've obviously got the seat rails as well.
That's right. So seats. Cool. So the seat, the fixing of the seats is actually an interesting one. So the only thing holding these seats are the two brackets left and right of each seat, made by Pinnacle. So there's no other sort of fixings or plates or anything else involved. It's a super sort of weight saving setup that Jamie at Pinnacle Motorsport's done, which is mega. And as you saw, which maybe people will see, is the painted green. To try and match the wrap. For me, it's those little details that kind of just make a build as well. They're obviously they're not doing much. They're not adding horsepower as such, but they certainly add to the build.
I suppose this car isn't about the horsepower, though, is it? It's
still stock. If we didn't say that already, but yeah, for me it's more about the looks. Obviously, all the stuff we've done at Auto ID. Now very much that kind of phase 2 with Swift, which is that track preparation and sort of setup.
It's like a club sport build, I guess, isn't it?
Get in there. It's obviously missing a cage. That's true. For those that maybe clocked it already. It's not got the cage. I'm still deciding about what the cage will do for me in terms of how much I still use this car. As we spoke about, you know, since buying this car, I've done almost 25,000 miles, which is quite a lot.
In like a year
and a half or so. And I did 20 of those in the first year. So it really did get a beating on the track and commuter miles and some bits and bobs. But yeah, the cage is still something that I'm deciding about. It has got the rear seat delete sort of package and kit in there by a company called Stern Performance. You might have seen the sort of carbon bars. Not really adding much to, you know, the rigidity of the car. It's just more for a nicely sort of styled and looking option to get rid of the, you know, the crappy back seat area when you take the rear seats out. But obviously the good thing about that is that I've not added the weight of a cage back in.
That's true.
I know it's a small thing and people might say, oh well, that's not the point, but where I'm at this moment in time, I'm not wanting a cage, still need to use it a bit, and I love the rear seat delete because it's carbon.
Of course, has to be.
Show me a carbon cage.
I
don't know, does that exist?
If you see carbon, you get it.
That's it. So yeah, that's the cage. But no, the rear seat delete from Stern, mega piece of kit, fits well, looks good, and doesn't break the bank quite as hard as a cage, but might be on the horizon.
Oh, okay.
We'll see.
So suspension-wise on this car as well, coilovers?
Definitely.
Coilovers?
Yeah, we're getting very lucky. Would have put coilovers on it anyway, but it came with AC Schnitzer RS coilovers. Ooh. So yeah, quite tidy. Have behaved really, really well. Even from the first track days I did before all the other mods were done on the car. It's been on rails, but it's just obviously getting more and more on rails as we mod it further.
Absolutely.
I am looking to go to the Swift Performance Bilstein Club Sports. Joe Achilles has just had them fitted on his
build,
in his M2 comp build that we're doing at Swift. A few other customers have gone for them, and Bilstein, I think at the moment, don't actually offer their own club sports. So Swift so Russ has refined the club sports to his spec. The valving is different to the regular club sports, and ours are cheaper.
So it's a Swift Swift. That's hard to say.
Swift specific.
There you go.
Product, which is mega. So a lot of M2 owners have started getting those from us, and it's what I'd like to move to eventually, to demo the product and obviously see how they are compared to the Schnitzers. Also got Milway Motorsport top mounts.
Oh, nice.
Almost forgot about those. Obviously great for the camber adjustments and that turning on track. Combining that for those that are new to obviously mods is camber plates and coilovers is an epic combo with a Geo and a sort of track setup as well.
And it's not short power. I mean, let's not forget, it's an M2 competition.
That's it.
So
obviously about 405, I think it is, or 410, something like that. But that's where, you know, the weight saving comes in, right? Because obviously the only thing that's going up is the power to weight. You know, the more weight I keep taking off, the quicker it's going to get.
And even the body panels, like you sort them out for carbon pieces.
That's right.
It's a saving.
Yeah, the bonnet's about 50% lighter, so 10 kg lighter. The boot lid will have saved a bit. The fenders will have saved a little bit. The stock fenders are already quite light, but the seats, you get a lot on the seats, and obviously my rear seats are out.
True.
So I think I did weigh those, and then they're about 20 kg or 90 kg,
crikey.
and I've not added the cage back in.
So you're probably down a good 50, 60 kg.
Around that, that's what I calculated the other day, because Russ and I were comparing, because he's lost quite a lot more.
Comparing M2 builds.
That's it.
But like I said earlier on, I mean, this car is unreal. I like how you've gone different from most people. You haven't really bothered too much with power. You kind of unlocked potential with this car in a different way. A very unique way, and I rate that massively.
Yeah, you know, 235i, I guess, was the benchmark in some respects with the looks, because it's wide body kit, so that's what made it so different. And I don't know, I always laugh when I say it, sort of out loud as well, is there's always someone with deeper pockets. Right. And what I mean by that is in the power world. In the power world, there's always companies building, you know, building speed and building draggy times and runway laps, but people are way less inclined to build quite a different looking car, because it involves, you know, actually outlaying, you know, the front bumper on this is a lot, and you know, some people say, well, who would spend that on a car? But the bumper retails from 3D Design on the Auto ID sort of catalogue at about 5,000 quid. But then if you're looking at single turbo builds, what are you up to? 15, give or take? I don't know, 10 to 15.
Depending on the car,
not like I've looked. So yeah, in my sense, I think, well, if they're spending all of that, I'm making my car look the way I want it to, with no risk of it blowing up.
But obviously, if you guys want to see more about Josh's build, see how this thing's progressing, because I mean, I don't think a month goes by without another thing going on this thing.
I need to stop.
Then you can, of course, find his links down in the description, along with Swift's as well, because obviously that's where we've been based today. Like I mentioned, the intro, getting my 140 serviced. But yeah, mate, thank you so much. Good to catch up as always.
Pleasure.
And thank you for taking me out on this. I'm sure it won't be too long until we meet up again on track, hopefully.
I want to do that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I want to do that.
But for now, at least, that is going to wrap things up. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please do make sure you leave a like. Make sure you subscribe for all the adventures still to come.